Hi and welcome to SaliHughesBeauty.com. Thanks for joining me. I am super excited today because I am in the most beautiful bathroom in the middle of glorious Gloucestershire countryside with Rosemary Ferguson. I'm a big admirer of Rosemary's because she was such a huge model in the 90s when I kind of started to become fully obsessed with fashion and moved to London and so on. And she's appeared on lots of great covers for ID and The Face and so on. And then went about this kind of extraordinary career change where she has become a naturopath and a nutritionist and has written this book, Rosemary Ferguson Juice, which has got loads of juice recipes in, which I am going to come to later on because I'm really interested in Rose's take on the whole juicing revolution because I think you might be quite surprised by how outspoken she is about it. But thank you for having us, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
It's the most beautiful house. So how long have you lived in the country?
We've lived here full time for coming up for 5 years actually, but we've had our house down here for a long time and we used to come at weekends, and then we found this house which we renovated the whole thing, and then we were like all week in London just waiting till Friday to come to it. So we just thought, okay, we'll change it. And also actually my eldest at that time was 10, so it's kind of like change now or don't.
Yeah,
because you know
the whole school thing.
Because the whole school thing and just friends, and it would be. So we did, and then we sort of thought, well, we'll go back to London at the weekends, which we very rarely do. But it's, you know, I do go into work probably. I work on Wednesday anyway because I have a clinic on Harley Street, and then I usually stay Wednesday night and do some appointments Thursday, and then come back. And it is really lovely living here. I do spend a lot of time on the motorway.
Yes, I bet. So you have 3 daughters.
Yes.
Correct. And you're married to the artist Jake Chapman, and so this is like a proper family house.
Yeah.
And so what happens? Do you have a studio here for your husband and space for you, or how do you make it work?
Well, we did have an office upstairs that was our office, and he never actually was allowed to move in. I don't think he actually worked in there once. He never was allowed. So that's my office. Mine.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can't work like this. I can't sit with you next to me because I'd just fall out. So actually he has, he built a studio out there a couple of years ago. So he has his studio out there, which is actually outside tidying at the moment. But yeah, so it sort of works well. But he also has studios in London. He has a studio with, because obviously he works with his brother. So they have a studio in London that they work together at. But it's nice for him to have somewhere here because he's a writer, so he quite likes to write, and then also, you know, he can just tinker around whatever he's tinkering. I think he's thinking about wood carving next, which should be interesting.
As one does.
As one does, yes.
So I want to go right back to the beginning of your career. I think lots and lots of people will associate you with a very specific time in fashion when everything kind of changed.
Yeah.
So we had these sort of super Teutonic, almost superhuman models in the form of Linda Evangelista and Christy Turlington and so on. And then suddenly something happened in London.
Yeah.
And you were a really big part of that. How had you got to even be a model in the first place?
So basically when I was 15, I was in McDonald's, which is ironic, I know, now that I'm a nutritionist. I was in McDonald's in Oxford Street, and Corinne Day, the photographer, the late Corinne Day, sadly, approached me, and she actually told me she thought I was a boy at the time, and asked if I was, would do some pictures with her. And then she introduced me to an agency, and I did a few jobs, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Why not?
Because I wanted to be down the pub with my friends.
Yeah.
I think I'd just met my first boyfriend. I was like, I'm not a very girly girl. Mm-hmm. So for me, all this faffing around, and also actually the person I worked with, it wasn't with Corinne, it was with, I can't remember who it was, but it was very like I had my hair done and my lips done, and it felt very alien to me, and I felt way out of my depth. So I wrote a very polite letter to the agency saying, this isn't for me. And then when I was 17, passed my driving test, and I needed a car. So I called the agency back. And then by that point, Corinne was shooting in London because I think she was living in Milan when she found me. And so that was it really. And then I started shooting with her and with Dave Sims. And also by then grunge was kind of really in full swing. Yeah. And so it was sort of very lucky that actually at the age of 15 I hadn't been into it, because I avoided doing lots of things like castings and stuff, because when I came back, you know, it was, I did, I think my first job was with Corin was for the face, and then I did a Yogi campaign with David Sims, and then I did French Vogue with Paolo Reversi, and it
so
just...
you kind of hit the ground
Yeah,
running.
I hit the ground running, and I was still at college actually doing my A-levels when I did this. And so and then that was it, and I was going to do it for a year, and then was still doing it 13 years later.
Amazing. So there was a kind of core group of models that came after the original supermodels. You were definitely one of them, and then there was Emma Balfour and Kate Moss and Liberty Ross, and there was a real kind of gang of British girls.
Yeah.
And an Australian girl. And it was very much a sort of London movement. You came under, I think as a gang of kids essentially, you came under so much scrutiny because you were a different shape from the models who'd gone before you. You were less overtly sexy and less overtly feminine. How did that feel to you? Were you oblivious to it, or did you engage with it? How did that?
Well, I think we felt, I know, because basically we looked like, as Corin thought we were, I was a boy. We were very androgynous. There was no particular bust area, still isn't. And I think we felt cooler, actually. Yeah. I think we did. I don't think we felt like, I think the heroin chic thing, when it started being, you know, the drug thing and the anorexia thing, which was not true, was a bit, it just got a bit boring. You're like, oh no, we're not anorexic, no, we're not taking heroin. But I think it was a very cool, it felt very cool, a very cool time to be part of it. And, you know, and it wasn't just fashion, it was British music was really, the artists were really doing amazing stuff. So it felt quite good to sort of be young. And because I suppose the Linda Evangelista and all that, you know, those power models were very womanly, and suddenly there were these scraggly looking kids who were making stuff just look different and look good, I thought.
And did you feel like you were part of, you know, you mentioned the music and the art and films and so on. Did you feel like you were a part of some tremendous movement that was happening? Because I felt like that, just as a kind of budding makeup artist, and, you know, I felt like something really mad was happening.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Corin it felt like madness. You know, it felt like... And with Dave, I think when you were working with those photographers, I think that then you sort of would be like, God, what are they doing? Because it wasn't like anything you'd ever seen before, and you'd be standing there thinking, what am I doing? Standing here, freezing my arse off, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever, waiting for golden light or whatever nonsense. You'd just be like,
in some pants.
In some pants, exactly, which were second hand or from someone which you couldn't even buy in a shop. So it felt very. But I think otherwise, I'd love to go back and do it again, knowing what I know now in a way, and just sort of really appreciate it. But maybe that's the genius of it, is that you're slightly oblivious to how amazing it was, and you don't know that you're creating something that is going to be referred back to you. Like now, everybody's referring back to it. And
yes, totally.
It's quite amazing now. You go, oh, that's quite cool actually, because at the time it just felt like madness.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I was going to say, what would you go back and do differently? But I suppose it would make you self-conscious in how you behaved, and a bit less guileless, and
exactly. And you probably always felt like a first, like. You know, I remember doing a shoot with Corin, and actually, because there's a lot of referring back now, there's a lot of pictures, like on Instagram, there's a lot of pictures going back, and there's this one of me with, you know, a pair of my cords, that was going in a fashion mag, my corduroys, no top on, looking an absolute, I mean, I love the photograph, but I remember it was in Wales, and there was a road right next door, and people just driving past, you know, normally truckers would be going, because they're just like that. What is she doing? Like a black makeup like that, sort of looking like, you know, and you just think it was insane, because then it went in a fashion magazine and you couldn't, as I say, you couldn't buy the trousers because they were mine.
Yeah, yes, it's sort of a million miles away from Cindy Crawford at a truck stop with kind of cut-offs. It was such a 180 degree.
Yeah, exactly.
So at which point, so you've grown up kind of being a tomboy, and you've become involved in a fashion scene that's very androgynous. At which point do you kind of start becoming more aware of hair and makeup? Because you've worked with everybody. You've worked with Sam McKnight and May Greenwell and Charlotte Tilbury and Val Garland and everybody. Did you ever have an interest in that stuff, or did it just feel like something somebody else did?
Well, I think, no, I did, because I've actually, honestly, I've got curly hair, but everyone's like, why do you blow dry your hair? I don't know, that's like a hangover from...
You've got curly hair?
I have got curly hair. But I know, exactly.
Wow.
I know, I'm an expert. My friend James Brown's like, you do the best hair to hair, like straight.
It looks like you've got straight hair.
I know, but and that's kind of something that I suppose I did ever since then. I don't know, so little things like that. And but I never felt really great with makeup on. Like I never felt very. I think lips is a definite no-no for me.
Really?
For me personally, I don't feel very comfortable when I've got a full lip on. But it's amazing what they can. I mean, I think smoky eye. I mean, I can do smoky eye because I was taught that, and I love that. I do love that. I don't know, and I like a bit of a hairdo, I suppose. But I'm still very now, because now I do pictures from as a nutritionist. Sure. So now they say, what do you want to do? And I'm usually I like it very natural.
Yeah.
But I think doing that, the thing about those makeup artists is that they get your skin looking amazing. Yeah. And it's not easy to do that necessarily.
I mean, your skin is quite extraordinary, I have to say. It'll be all your nutrients and vitamins, but your skin is fantastic. Were there any tips you picked up along the way that you adopt now? So you mentioned your hair and smoky eye. Is there anything specific you learnt from anybody along the way that is a kind of indispensable technique for you now?
Eyelash curlers. Eyelash curlers, I can't believe no one uses eyelash. Some people are like, what are eyelash curlers? And I'm like, oh my God, they are. That's what, You
need them.
You need them. You've got to have I mean, I can go to school, well, not that I actually, but I don't need mascara. If I've got eyelash curlers, it'd be more upset not to have eyelash curlers than to not have mascara. You know.
Yeah,
and other tips. I think just, and I suppose when applying foundation, actually, you can rub it on, but actually, if I still do what they put it on the hand, and then you just do little by little,
where
and actually,
you need it.
Yeah, but actually, it just absorbs better. When I just try and do it really quickly and go like that, you end up with all smear marks. So I suppose and I've really noticed that. I'm like, that's why they do that. Really, just gently, slowly, little bit by little bit.
Yeah, bit by bit. I want to come back to your latest career, but I also want to know if way back when you were modelling, if you had an interest in the stuff you're doing now, or whether it kind of came from nowhere, because you were party girls, you were young, you were teenagers, and you were in fashion, so of course you were out all the time like any teenager would be.
And 20 and 30-year-old, and now I'm 40. I can still put in a good show,
Yes, so you love going out still?
Yes, I do. But I love going out having a good time. But I think when I was young, going out, obviously I could go out more often and survive. I've always been a bit like yin and yang. And my yin and yang, my husband, when he met me, he was like, my God, he's like, go out and do this. And then you go the next day, drink juice and do yoga. And I was like, but there's balance in there somewhere. There is definitely balance in there somewhere. Well, when we were living in New York, because New York was much further ahead when it comes to America's just, or New York and LA are much further ahead when it comes to like things like health food and, Whole Food. They had a Whole Food shop there when I lived there 20-something years ago. So so it was much more available there. And I definitely, I'd go and get juices and smoothies and, things there even if I'd been out dancing all night, then I'd do that. And I was always interested in. Yeah, and I think it's also from my background. My mum's very like that.
You had quite a badass nana, didn't you?
She was quite badass too as well. She was quite frightening. She was 6'2".
Wow.
I know. But yeah, she was really. They're very like. They were all very into alternative medicine. That whole side of my family. So, and she had her Whole Food shops. Her health food shop. So it's just always been around, and actually, what the brilliant thing my mum is about balance, and I think that's where I get my sort of idea of balance, because it's not faddish, it's just part of life. It's just that's how we grew up, and that's how. And
had you noticed when you were living in New York and modelling here, and kind of having wild nights, that had you noticed that if you caned it and smoked loads of fags and drank loads of booze and whatever else, and had lots of sort of juice and supplements afterwards, did you notice an effect on your skin? Could you see looking better? Because I feel like I can tell. If I've had lots of juice, I feel like my skin looks better.
Yeah. I think when you're younger, I don't think I necessarily noticed it. I notice it now. I think when I was younger, I didn't notice it. I think you can get away with it much more. And I don't think you can cure a tired face from want just by taking a vitamin C the next day. I think it has to be sort of, in general, your body has to have that pool of nutrients to help it.
Kind of bounce back a bit.
Yeah, you can't just kind of like, hit it with a lot one day and hope it's all going to be fine. But I think when you're younger, you just generally can bounce back faster. I think your liver's younger. It can deal with it. I mean, that's what kind of comes down to, how well your liver's functioning.
Yeah. So you didn't stop modelling to get involved in nutrition. You stopped modelling, why? Because you had a family?
So I was...
Or calmed down on your modelling, I suppose. You continued to do bits and pieces, didn't you?
I still do, very rarely I do little bits and pieces. But I had one baby when I was 24, and and you can go back, the fashion industry is very accommodating, amazingly accommodating actually, of babies. They're like, yeah, bring her along, it's fine. And then I had another at 30 and another at 31, and those two being so close together, I didn't even have a chance to go. I did go back to work, I think, for like a month in between, and then so I had 3 kids, and I really wanted to be at home with them. I wanted, I'm very fortunate that Jake could carry the can for a bit, so I was lucky in that way. And then, but I also like working, so I knew that I wasn't ever going to go back to, it was early 30s as well, and I'm not Kate Moss or Stella Tennant who's going to carry on modelling forever. Not because just because I wasn't at their level. So I thought, I want to do something, and I want to start getting prepared for when they're all at school and I'm sitting at home like that. And food is just something I've always been interested in. So, I have homeopaths in my family and kinesiologists, and I guess the thing that I loved as a form of healing, as a way of healing yourself, is food. And I love food, and I love all the, crazy foods you can get that can do this.
Are you greedy?
What, with food?
Yeah.
No, not really. I just
don't have a huge appetite or anything.
No, I've got a normal. I'm pretty normal about most things. I'm pretty average about most things, but I just love what food can do for you. I love that actually, you do feel better if you eat well. I also like all the superfood powders and superfoods and things like that. So they interest me. And I also like what's in, so you start to learn that, I don't know, flaxseed's got good omega-3s in it. So, so all that sort of sciencey bit interested me. So that's why I decided to go back to college. So I guess my littlest was about, she must have been 2 or 3 when I went back. And I was thinking, right, by the time I finished college, she'll be starting school. And so that's so I still do a bit of modelling. But yeah, very rarely now.
So how, you went into business and you have, is it a 1-day-a-week practice?
I do a day a week on Harley Street, yeah.
So you have private clients come to you, and what typically are you seeing as their main concern? Do they want to lose weight? Do they want to kind of feel better, have more energy, or they've been poorly, or, what's a classic client for you?
Well, I thought I'd have loads of weight loss patients. I thought that would be my thing, partly because of my history.
I would have guessed that too.
Yeah.
It's like, beautiful model now knows about food. You would think
very rare I get a weight track. Really, really. I could probably count the weight loss clients I have on one hand. But I also think weight loss is actually usually an upshot as well of if you come in feeling I get a lot of fatigue is what I get. But then, if you change, these diets people do, a lot of the time it's just you change so if you are feeling tired, and you change your foods to help that. That's part of the side effect of that. If you are overweight, will be that you lose weight anyway. So actually people who come in to lose weight, you need to find out why they're gaining weight, or if it's mental, if it's their thyroid or whatever it is. When you start treating that, then they lose weight anyway. So I get it, and it goes in sort of rhythms really. So sometimes I get lots of fatigue, then I'll get thyroid. I've had loads of intolerance lately. I've had a few eating disorders lately, which is very tricky to deal with. And you need that it has to be with a therapist, as well. It's more psychological, and then I get a lot of gut. I always start with the gut because there's so gut issues are so IBS or.
But I feel like we're at a point where practically every woman I know has some kind of gut issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Well, there's no care given to the gut though. So people take antibiotics, or they smoke, or they take lots of ibuprofen or aspirin, or they have a stomach bug or food poisoning. All these things mean that the bacteria in your gut, it gets all upset, the natural balance. But nobody takes probiotics, and so there's not much care given. We just expect the gut to keep on going, and then if we put in all the pollutants of like ready meals or alcohol, coffee, whatever it is, then we just expect the gut to carry on going. And that's why I think as people become aware of the fact that the gut is important, that's why it's such a thing now. Because
I'm sort of slightly concerned, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier before we came on camera. I do get slightly concerned with the kind of clean food movement, and you seem to have succeeded in really distancing yourself from kind of charlatans, basically. Kind of, you went to college, you did your stuff, and you seem to have a very kind of balanced, pragmatic approach. Do you worry about your industry being tarnished by sort of certain blogs saying, don't eat this, it's poisonous, eat this, it's clean?
Well, I think, I think there is, as I said earlier, this extreme clean eating is as unhealthy as, eating pizza and burger every day. I think there has to be a balance. And just a bit normal. Food's meant to be nice. It's meant to be a nice thing. It's also, it is also the fuel you put in your tank. So, but yeah, I mean, and as I was saying, my number one thing is that 9 out of 10 people who come to my clinic don't eat fruit.
On principle,
because
they think
it's high in sugar, and that's it. And you're just like, I'm just like, really?
Yeah, it's fruit.
It's fruit. It's fruit. It's got so much going for it. It's got so many other brilliant things for it. But they will eat, I don't know, a bag of Skittles or, a cake or a biscuit, but they won't eat fruit. And it's just, and that drives it, and that's the sort of thing actually that those sort of the blogs and things like that of, really high sugar fruit, you must not eat it.
Yeah.
And people, and it's amazing what people pick up on. So then suddenly they're like, no, that's it, I'm not going to eat fruit. And some people they haven't eaten fruit for years. And it's sort of, so that sort of thing does worry me, because it's just extreme. It's just another extreme thing.
And your book is about juicing, so you're obviously a great believer in juicing. And
I love a juice. A
great deal of fruit in here, of course, and vegetables and seeds and nuts and so on. How do you use juicing? Is it something that you just kind of slot into your everyday diet, so a juice here and there, or are you somebody who does the full kind of juice extravaganza for 14 days, as some people do, or is it just something that's part of your daily life?
Well, I do a bit of both. So I try and do a juice day on a Monday. Mm-hmm. This Monday, I went to Glastonbury at the weekend, so this Monday was definitely not a Monday for doing a juice day.
No.
I didn't have it in me.
No.
I could have done a liquid day, so sort of smoothies and, smoothies and soups, but I didn't do that either. But so I do believe in doing I love most of the time.
So it's a little bit of a 6-1 diet then, you're doing one day.
Well, the thing about doing a day of juicing is it does rest the digestive system, and it means that you're giving your day, and it's 50% of your energy every day gets used digesting food. So I do feel better when I do that. I feel it energises me, it reboots my system, it gives my system a chance to... but otherwise, I have a juice most days, but I don't... if I don't do the Monday, then I don't muck around for the rest of the week. I just have a juice. I'll always have a juice. It's a good snack. I like it with breakfast. It's a good way of... It's great with kids. Like, my teenage daughter is really... She's very good, actually, but at school, the food they get at school is such shit that actually it's a great way of her getting, like, a... little boost.
Also, one of my sons won't eat fruit, but he will drink a juice.
Exactly.
Because it's some bullshit about texture that he won't entertain. But he will drink a juice, and within that juice there'll be tons of fruits he actually says he hates. So it's quite useful in that way.
A little bit of spinach in there that doesn't even know.
Exactly. And Maggie mixing vegetables and shoving them in a sauce is also a good thing.
Yes, exactly.
And this is definitely a modest collection of products, but kind of cleverly curated, so we're going to go through them. But firstly, will you tell me how you feel about having a completely open bathroom? So you have a transparent shower just in the middle of the room, so anybody can walk in. Then you have a bath by the window, so you're not a door locker.
Well, no, but we do live, in our defence. I mean, if this is in London, it would not be. My husband is definitely not. He's not. We don't parade around naked, but we are surrounded by fields.
Yes.
We are completely surrounded by fields. We are the only house here, really. So there's not really much traffic going past. However, once I was in the bath and a car did drive up there, but otherwise, no, I've never been caught. And we do have curtains, so we can close the curtains.
And you have other loos in the house, presumably,
We
where
do.
one can be more private.
Oh yes, I know. That is actually the only thing that is. It's kind of difficult having a loo in the. I would have to have everybody out.
Yes.
Yes. Or and there are other loos to use. Exactly.
Yes. But
Yes.
then you do need a wee before
We
your
don't
bath.
have someone in the bath, someone in the shower, and someone on the loo.
No, like a commune.
No, we don't. Someone brushing their teeth.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah, no, it's not
We
very
still
British.
No, not very British. No, we're very British like that. It's true.
So, are you a bather or a showerer?
Shower, hands down.
A morning shower.
After Glastonbury, I had a bath.
Yeah. You're a morning shower or a bedtime shower?
Morning shower.
Okay. So, what do we have in the bath? In the shower?
So, well, it depends actually. That's a foot scrub, which is really attractive. But
I do love a foot
I
file.
do love
though.
a foot scrub. Yes,
It's really
Is that what
gratifying.
they're called, foot file. Okay. And what do I have? Well, I try and this is Environ actually, which is not organic, but actually I go through stages of using Environ and the skin stuff. So that's the face wash, and then this is Australian Organics conditioner, hair conditioner. This is Green People, but I mean I'll change those. But
Do you wash your hair every day?
I don't wash it every day. But then again, I usually do something every day. Like I usually go and ride a horse, or I usually go to the gym or something. So I kind of usually do end up, I suppose, washing it every day. And then this, I don't normally have this, but this was given to me. It's a Greek one. It's really nice, called rose pepper, and it's so nice.
Is that a shower gel?
It's a shower gel, and it's such.
Apivita rose pepper.
Really
shower gel.
nice, and there's a body oil as well that goes with it. It's really nice. My friend from Greece brings things. It's like
Lovely.
So yes, so that's
Helping the Greek economy.
Well, exactly, exactly. So yes, so that's the shower.
And then do your kids use that bath?
The kids have got their own bathroom.
Oh, nice.
The kids' bathroom is a complete tip.
I have 2 basins. I believe in them.
Yes, I do too.
I believe in 2 basins. They're very handy.
Yes, exactly.
Don't want to be spitting on each other.
No, exactly.
So what do we have here?
Right. So, well, this is my makeup bag, which I have to say is very Charlotte Tilbury heavy because she's lovely and sends me stuff. But I have to say her foundation is so good. Look, it's empty.
Yeah.
Wonder Glow is amazing.
That's quite nice just on its own, isn't it? Without any other makeup.
So for me, yeah, exactly. So I love that, and I love her foundations.
Yeah, I do too.
What else have I got in here? Oh, so I use this. It's my little blusher that I always use, and that's the brush I always use there.
So what's that, Laura?
It's a Laura, yeah. And I've
Rose Bloom.
yeah.
Named after you. Oh yeah, well that's perfect for you, isn't it?
Good, I'm glad you think so. I went like that completely. What else? And then actually, depending on where, so if I'm going out in the evening, I'll use Charlotte's mascara because it's just heavy. I have to take it off. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a much heavier thing. Whereas otherwise, I'll just use Maybelline.
A full-on.
Maybelline for but I don't always wear makeup in the day. And then lips. Now, when I went to Cuba, see, I wore this lipstick.
I thought
having
you
said I
didn't
didn't wear a
like
lip.
But I think that would look great on you.
But and in Cuba it sort of worked, so I did wear it in Cuba.
When in Cuba?
When in Cuba, wear a red lip. Now what else? And then these things. So this is just the, for a little bit of what do you call it? Bronzing, bit of a
shaggy flush.
Exactly.
I think Charlotte.
And I quite like, and this is a lip colour I would wear quite often if I was going to.
I think I'm wearing that right now.
Oh, there you go. See, we're on the
like
same
Penelope
page.
Pink. Penelope Pink.
There you go. You see?
Great colour. Yeah.
And there are my eyelash curlers.
So these are your kind of must-haves.
Yes.
Can't live without.
Yeah. And there we add some tweezers. And that's it really. Oh, there's another lipstick in there actually. God knows what that is. Oh, another one. I wouldn't wear that. I don't know.
What's that? That looks like Gabrielle or something. Oh no, Fuego. Okay, so Fuego used to be my favourite lipstick and I wore it for years and then they discontinued it and I bought loads on eBay and they were so expensive.
You can have this one if you want it because I obviously don't use it.
I really don't. The press office dug out the last 4 in the country and sent them to me and I'm on my last one.
There you go, you got another one there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So weird.
That looks like it was totally set up and it really wasn't.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
How weird.
It's like rare as hen's teeth.
I might put it on eBay.
Yeah, get 80 quid for it. Screw me over, sell it.
Okay,
what do we
that's
have
so
in terms
weird.
of
I'm glad
skin?
that.
You're the same age as me, which means you've just turned 40. That's right,
I
isn't
have,
it?
yes.
Okay, so I turned 40 in February. How do you feel about it?
I quite like being 40.
I do as well.
I had a panic in last summer. I was like, oh my God, I've got to grow up, blah, blah, blah. And actually, I feel very, I don't know, I feel kind of settled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you realise that you're pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you think, oh, I have to grow up now, but actually you don't.
No. But there's something nice,
Your life
quite
is
nice
different,
about
but-
being like just being a woman, and I feel more womanly.
I do
think.
too. I like it. I like telling people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when people say how old I am, I'm quick to say I'm 40.
40. And also, actually, being 40 now, I think, 'cause compared to our parents' generation, there was very definitely, I remember 40, you know, I think 40 there's a lot of a massive variety of being 40 now, isn't there? You know, you can...
Well, yeah, because when we were
There's-
kids, you would see women in their 40s and they had the cauliflower haircut
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
They had the grey
Exactly.
short curls.
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's the
tap
other thing
art.
is I'm going grey now, and I don't know whether I'm kind of like, quite like going grey. Maybe I'll just leave it. We'll see. Watch me be
Yeah.
bright blonde
I
and
feel
tears.
like you could do it, I have to say.
But you know, you kind of like, oh, I don't mind a few grey stragglers. I don't, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because I was so... In the run-up to 40, so many people said, oh, big one, as though
Yeah.
you're going to freak out, but it just didn't happen.
No, I didn't. And I've really enjoyed being 40, actually.
Yeah.
Being
I
on the
have
40s.
shamelessly stretched mine out over many months, so I seem to have done something every month since I
Have
turned
you?
40. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jake, did you hear that?
Yeah, my best friend from school, Rachel, obviously turns 40 this year, and we've done something every month of the year, and we're going to New York next month. And a festival. We're just doing all sorts of things.
Perfect. That's
Did
so
a few
good.
days in Babington. We've just
Yeah.
really milked it. I'm not going to lie, we've milked it.
Yeah, quite right. It is a big one, though. 40.
It is a big one.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It
We've
is.
both got kids, and we just thought, well, we'll just revel in our own.
I think that's the other nice thing about being 40. If you've got kids, actually, is that well, mine are, you know, ours are at similar ages, aren't
Yeah,
they?
8 and
And you
10.
kind of go, okay, so that's done. Don't have to think about that anymore.
Out of the zone.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Even though everyone keeps going, because I've got 3 girls, and the other thing is your clock's ticking when you're, you know, they're like, what about a boy? I'm like, okay. It's not about probability. The chemistry obviously says that I'm going to have another girl, doesn't it?
That's not how it works, and also I find it quite annoying. So I have 2 boys. When I was pregnant with my second, everybody said, oh, bet you're after a girl this time. It's like, kind of after a child, really. I'm quite into having a baby
Yeah.
who
Just want a
hopefully
baby.
is in one piece, if
Yes,
I'm really,
exactly.
really lucky.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But the assumption that if they're all the same gender, they're all the same child.
Yes,
because I'm
exactly.
sure you
And
having
that
3, they're
obviously-
wildly different, aren't they?
Really
Yeah.
different. But then it's the thing that if you go and have another one, obviously probability says you're going to have a boy.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
not
nothing
really
to do with
how it
probability.
works.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Also, at our age, you're likely to have twins and triplets.
I know, and
so
I'm also
that's too much of
a
gamble.
twin. So everyone's like, I'll end up with twin girls.
You're a twin?
I've got a twin brother.
Have you?
Yeah. So all those sort of things combined, definitely not.
Yes. Yes. Everything's pointing towards no.
Everything says no, exactly.
So what else do we have? So what's this? The reason I asked about your age is because I wanted to talk about skincare. So what are you
Right.
using here?
So, I'm a big fan of face oil. I love face oil. I always have done, actually. Oh, that's the rose pepper oil that I was talking about. It's so nice. Anyway, okay, so this one is a new little one that I've been trying, and it's so nice. Dusty. It's really wild carrot serum concentrate, vital glow. It's
What kind of
really
skin
nice.
do you have? It looks pretty perfect to me, but
My skin's pretty good. I don't think it's not particularly dry. It's pretty good, yeah. Apart from the fact that I
Kinda
got a spot
normalish.
today, for some, obviously,
that's
because you
we're
were coming
here.
around.
Yeah,
Exactly.
of course.
I haven't had a spot for ages. And then I love this. I mean, this one's not particularly fat. Trilogy.
It's a brilliant
rose,
product.
It's a really nice one. And then this is a new ones that I found, which are really nice therapy. Cult Beauty sent it to me. Actually, I'm not going to lie. And it's so lovely. It's just another face oil. And that's detox.
So are you using these morning and night?
So I use an oil, any of those oils, and then in the morning I use Ela cream, and then I will put and then I always wear
I
sunscreen.
don't know that product.
Ela, they're actually local
Ela
to here.
Day cream for glowing radiance.
They do such lovely, and they are natural. You
Can I put some on my hand?
Yeah. You can get them from, I think they're on Net-a-Porter actually. Well, I don't know, but you can, but they're so.
Oh, that's lovely.
They're lovely.
So rose otto, sandalwood, wild-grown rose hip seeds, and rose damascena cells.
And they do, yes, they do. And then I always wear sunscreen.
Yes,
Factor 50.
that's a great one. I use SkinCeuticals.
I use SkinCeuticals or I use Sicily. Or, you know, yeah.
Sicily's so nice, you can't really go wrong.
And this is one that I was using, but you can't really see. Actually, I've got a box of it. It's called Biotique. And which is an Ayurvedic, and this is a Factor 50 as well.
Oh, so that's a sunblock as well.
That's a natural one.
Are you an outdoor person? Are you out a lot?
Well, I guess because, yes, I am actually. And since I've moved here, since I moved here, I'm out quite a lot because I run outside, I ride outside. And what was someone saying? Oh, you're always tanned. I was like, I think you'll find it's called ruddy skin in the country. And then they were like, no, you'll call that high colour.
Florid is such a disgusting word, isn't it?
It's like the other
florid.
None of them sound good. So
yeah.
So basically I'm outside quite a lot. But I'm not like an outdoorsy, you know, I'm not out. I just happen to be outside quite a lot because of the, you know, when I'm doing my activities.
You've got loads of space to roam.
And then this is what I wear at night, and I love, love, love this cream. Again, it's quite oily though. It's quite like
it's like a balm.
Yeah, but I love it. It's
What's that one?
Yeah, have a look. It's Earth to Face, Number California.
Earth to Face Hydrate and Repair Immortelle plus Rose. Immortelle's a great ingredient. L'Occitane use it a lot.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yum, that smells lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
So you like quite a sort of oily, natural smelling, full on.
Yeah, I like quite. Yeah, exactly. I like to feel quite oily.
Gives good glow as well.
Gives good glow, exactly.
Yeah. And what's the little glass bottle? Is that perfume?
Well, no, actually, I've got lots of perfumes. Sorry, I haven't got them out. No, this was just given to me. It's just a body oil, but it's so nice. It was given to me I got it in Turkey. And it's just, so I just was getting, so I like body oils too. So there's that one, which is just a Lang Lang one. And then there's Nukes, which is always an old fave. But yes,
one of the loveliest smells ever.
Oh my God, it just is like, it's so nostalgic, isn't it, when you have it?
It is. Sort of smells like the 90s to me.
Does it?
Well, because it was always on shoots, in hair and on skin
on
and in nails. Yeah, and
it's true, because we always used to give you shinier.
Yeah, it's the real smell of photo shoots. And Batiste.
Batiste, yes, I use, because my hair is quite fine. And so if it is hot, my hair just goes, raw. Yeah. So, because, my hair's pretty rubbish. My hair's quite crap, actually. Probably because I've been straightening it for 20 years.
Most bathrooms I go in have Batiste. Because it's one of those things, it's like your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Your basic beauty product that everybody buys because it works.
Because it works, exactly.
So in here, so here you have a kind of, Muji storage situation.
Yes. Well, this is all stuff that actually, I get given quite a lot of stuff, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then these are things which I basically leave in here until the kids come and take them, basically. There's quite a lot of Rimmel in here because as I said, I don't really, what's that one? Anyway, that's a Bobbi Brown. So this is just, I'm trying to find you other ones that have run out.
And are they getting to an age, especially your eldest, where she's wanting to muck about a bit more with?
Yeah, she wears makeup. We had a big ongoing row about, not a row, but in year 7, yeah, she wanted to wear mascara. Absolutely not. Well, now she's got lips. I mean, she's in year 10 now. She's got lipstick, mascara. But they're mad, aren't they? Because they've got such amazing skin.
Yeah, they have, and they're the last people in the world who need to wear makeup. But it's also kind of part of finding your style and your creativity.
Yeah,
Whoops,
exactly.
I've just dropped my mic. It's part of finding your style and your creativity. You kind of should muck about with it if you feel like it.
And actually, I don't think I did, because and I sort of wish I had gone through that stage of wearing crazy makeup and stuff.
No, I definitely did.
Yeah.
But then I suppose you just entered the professional realm straight away. So you went from wearing no makeup to, Mary Greenwell doing your makeup. Kind of a weird trajectory for a teenager.
Yeah, that's true. And when I did do that, it was just eyeliner smushed down the face, and that was it.
Yeah.
And a bit of Vaseline on the cheek.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't a big makeup era, was it?
No,
yours?
It wasn't really.
So in here, you kind of keep your overspill. And perfumes. What's your favourite perfume?
Well, do you know which perfumes I really love, actually? And I can't bear to even. I love the Van Cleef perfumes, but there's lots of empty bottles now, because I just have to remember which ones I like. So I like Cologne Noir. What's that one? And then there's a rose one. Oh, that's quite nice. California Reverie. There's a little left in there. And then I also like Penhaligon's. Oh, this is my winter perfume. Malabar Penhaligon's.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Do you think the bottle still smells?
Might.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
Quite wintry. It's quite like spicy.
Yeah.
And I like the Balenciaga. I quite like this one at the moment. This is a Cartier one I just got. Because I thought I was kind of like, I'm quite into all the old
That's
stuff.
lovely. That's quite a nana perfume in a good way.
It's quite a nana perfume.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why
I like a nana perfume.
That's what, because my friend had something and someone was wearing something, and then I smelled this. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was exactly that. I smelled her and I was like, that's like a nana perfume.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that
it's
comfy,
quite
like,
satisfying. Yeah, exactly. It's like a cuddle.
almost like a smell of laundry. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that one. And then what else? I don't know. I got given, I quite like the Hermes ones, like this one, they're all empty.
I'm sensing a theme though, like most of your perfumes are from really old heritage houses.
Yeah, I do quite
They're
like
not
the
really
old.
fashion perfumes.
No, the Balenciaga ones, I guess, are the most modern, and then Chanel No. 5. Oh,
And Mary Greenwell.
I've got my Mary Greenwell, which I love.
So which one is that?
That's the lemon.
Yeah, lemon's my favourite.
And then I love the claret. I love claret. This is so good on holiday. You just whack it on yourself.
Classic.
Like
And it's cheap.
I know.
It's really cheap. You can practically bath in it.
And I tell you what, whenever you wear this, people go,
What's that?
Because they recognise it, but they don't know quite where from or anything. So it's always it's so nice on holiday. And my husband likes that one.
I think men do like that. Men also like wearing it, in my experience. I've known a couple of men who really like wearing it.
Yeah, Jake will wear that.
Because it's just lemony, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to it. And that's kind of it.
Cool. I wouldn't normally stray from the bathroom, but I think we're going to, because I can't come here and not look in the fridge. Obviously, I'm hoping to find just loads of crap in it, but I think this is unlikely.
Wow.
So we'll see what's in there and see if Rose practices what she preaches. So we will rejoin you in the kitchen.